Internet. What's up? I'm Christiane Cordero bringing you the 734 from WCCO. As you get ready to start your day, bring a jacket and then get ready to shed it. It was pretty windy this morning. I wore this and it was not sufficient because it was so windy. 50 degrees out there this morning, but it felt a little bit cooler than that. Warming up to 70 later today, tonight dropping back down to 54, and then sunny on Wednesday as well. And then there's this. Yep, I'm not even going to say it. We started calling for snow. I have stopped paying attention since then because it's supposed to just totally drop in temperature. Yep. All right, so let's focus on something else instead. How's this for a distraction? Scientists have discovered 20 more moons around Saturn, and you can help name them. Carnegie Institute for Science is who you have to thank for this ridiculous contest. To enter, just tweet your suggested name to Saturn Lunacy with the hashtag #NameSaturn'sMoons. That is the hashtag. Grammar geeks, no apostrophe when you hashtag things. So take it out of Saturn's. I feel like people who would hashtag something like this would probably keep it in. So anyways, the contest goes until December 6th. Dare we put this out into the digital universe? Show us what you've got. What would you name Saturn's moons? Those watching on Facebook, leave a comment. We'll read through a few of those in just a bit. All right, let's get to the news this morning. A mother is asking for help, hoping to save her son from life on the street or worse.
My son is going to be dead one day because he's going to do something and somebody's going to kill him or the cops are.
Sharon Webb's 14-year-old son ran away from home. Someone told her he was hanging out at a gas station in St. Paul at Hamlin and University Avenues. Webb found her son there with dozens of other underage kids.
There were kids out there from 11 to 16 that did not need to be out there because it was after curfew. Their parents should be out there looking for them. They should be held accountable for where their kids are.
She sees this with a whole lot of clarity, right? Webb put that plea on social media where several people reached out saying that they would be willing to mentor Webb's son. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court hears what could be one of the biggest cases of this term. Justices will consider whether federal workplace protections extend to the LGBT community. Amy Stevens says that she was fired from a Detroit area funeral home where she'd worked for several years after telling the owner she was transgender and planned to transition. Her case is one of 3 issues the Supreme Court will hear during oral arguments. Justices will decide whether the landmark 1964 civil rights law outlining discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, and sex also applies to workplace protections to the LGBT community.
Having a federal law that provides uniform protections across the board is really important to making sure that we can live in any part of this country and know that our rights will be equally secure.
Along with Stevens' case, justices will hear the arguments of a skydiving instructor in New York and a child welfare services coordinator from Georgia who say they were fired for being gay. The Supreme Court isn't expected to rule on this until spring. We'll be watching. The name game continues in the Twin Cities, this time on whether to keep or drop historic Fort Snelling. The Minnesota Historical Society hosted a public meeting in Brooklyn Park last night. It's the 3rd of 6 meetings planned around the state. Historic Fort Snelling is the 23 acres that you see right there shaded in yellow, not to be confused with Fort Snelling and Fort Snelling State Park. Those names will stay the same. Those supporting a name change say the area should better reflect the Dakota people who lived there. The people who decide that will have to decide if it's worth the almost guaranteed backlash. So if you want to share your opinion, we have information about the final 3 meetings. Go ahead and head over to WCCO.com. A dog was miraculously rescued almost a month after Hurricane Dorian slammed the Bahamas. An animal rescue out of Florida was using a thermal drone camera to scan the destruction. Amazing technology there. They weren't expecting to find anything weeks after the storm, but by some miracle, they found the pup. It was stuck under an air conditioner with nothing to eat. Oh my gosh, look how cute he is. And only a small puddle of water to drink. A team carefully pulled him out and rushed him to a veterinary clinic in Florida. And for days, he's slowly been eating every 2 hours and gained 4 pounds over the weekend alone. They're calling him Miracle.
Without that little puddle of rainwater in front of him, he wouldn't have made it. He's a fighter, and he's got the will to live. He knows he's got good things coming.
Miracle can now stand up on his own, as you can see right there, but his full recovery will take a while. And already more than 10,000 people have filled out paperwork to adopt him. What a good boy, and a good community, too. And then there's the boys of summer. What a bittersweet end to the Twins season. The Twins back to the beginning after getting swept out of the playoffs by the Yankees. Do I have to remind you? Yeah, I do. Jake Odorizzi pitched well, but he couldn't get the offensive support. Tough second inning, man. The Twins had bases loaded and no outs, and Jake Cave struck out to end the inning, leaving the bases loaded. The Twins threatened all night, and they came close in the 9th inning. 2-1. Jorge Polanco rips it, but check out that catch. Nelson Cruz strikes out to end the game. Twins lose 5-1. Lose the series in 3. Going through security at MSP International Airport will get a little bit easier starting today. Everyone can use the South Security Checkpoint. Since August, only travelers with TSA PreCheck were allowed to use it because of construction. Things are returning to normal 2 months ahead of schedule, and it couldn't come at a better time, right? MEA weekend is just a week away. Many families use the annual Teachers Conference as a chance to take a quick vacation, maybe check out some colleges too. Feeling thirsty? Water might not be your best bet to quench it. A new study says other drinks are more likely to satisfy your thirst. Researchers say that's because beverages with a little bit of sugar, fat, or protein keep us hydrated longer, which is basically the idea behind electrolyte drinks, right? Well, they tested more than a dozen drinks, and it turns out your favorite sports drink likely was not on the list. Skim milk actually came out on top, followed by rehydration products like Pedialyte, and then full-fat milk, orange juice, and soda. Water, surprise, surprise, ranked 10th on the list. Heads up, job hunters. Best Buy needs help ahead of the holiday season, and they need a whole lot of it. The Minnesota-based company announced it will be hiring thousands of workers across the country. Every store will hold a hiring fair Thursday and Friday from noon until 7. If you're interested, you can apply in person or online. We have a link to that application, by the way, on WCCO.com. Say bye to iTunes. Bye, iTunes. The latest update on Apple's Mac computers will get rid of the iconic music service and replace it with separate apps for music, video, and podcasts. Apple hopes the change will bring more attention to its paid TV streaming and music services. The Mac update, called Catalina, also allows iPads to act as a second screen. Workers at a retirement home in New Jersey wanted to make a World War II veteran's 102nd birthday extra special this year. Now, he's going to be pretty busy for a while.
I enjoyed reading the cards and comparing some of the notes that are written on them.
Good thing, too, because George Campbell has more than 2,000 to go through. His retirement home put a request on Facebook for 102 to celebrate the milestone birthday. Instead, they got cards from 40 states and even from across the globe in Germany and Ireland. The staff and George's family have been keeping the amount of cards a surprise, only giving him a few a day. His birthday is Thursday, and that's when he'll get the thousands more to read. Back to today's talker. There's a naming contest going on right now for 20 newly discovered moons around Saturn. Who knew? Astronomers did. We wanted to know your best moon names. Let's bring in WCCO's digital guide, Jonathan. Jonathan, what are people saying?
We have some good suggestions out there.
Do we?
Wes, yep.
Okay.
He says, name them after Star Wars characters or actors who are no longer with us.
Who are no longer with us. Oh,
Nimoy,
like a fallen
he suggested.
Mm-hmm.
We got Jonathan. He has name for 2 of them, Skull and Skull.
Skull and Skull. Are you the Jonathan that suggested that?
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I would suggest Gunther and Fiona for my cats. For your cats.
Name them after your
cats. What would you suggest?
I am snarky, so I would name a moon Sun. Get it?
I do.
It's not a good joke. Cool. Do we have any other good ones?
We got one from Mary, Normandy, Saratoga.
Sure, why not?
I like those.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else we got here?
We can do this all day, Jonathan.
Yep, we got 20 to go through,
okay.
so.
Yeah, I know, right? We just named like 6. All right, cool. Thanks so much, Jonathan. That's it for now. This is the 734 from WCCO, and most of the Twin Cities are on the go, so why not make us your place for mobile news? We'll be back here tomorrow at 734, and until then, be nice to each other out on the internet.